Five, four, three, two, one.
All right then. Ooh, my mic's a bit low.
Ooh.
Hello, willkommen, bienvenue. It's time for another Amish Inquisition on Sunday, the 29th of June, 2025. I'm Phil.
And I'm Matt. Oh,
Your mic's not working. Yeah.
is that from the other week?
We haven't had time to test it. I'll sort it out in a minute, but
Share Phil's.
never fear, because tonight we're joined by Trevor John. How you doing, Trevor?
Evening, very good. Just back from the Sounds Beautiful festival, and yeah, so I'm a bit knackered, to be honest. But if I say anything stupid, that's why.
It's not the first time you've done it, is it?
What, said something stupid?
Well, that and appeared at Sounds Beautiful festival.
Oh no, I've done that before. Yeah, I played last year. I think last year was their first one. It was yeah, very nice vibe down there, and it's on this kind of big house on loads and loads of grounds down there. It's beautiful.
Yes,
so yeah, no, there was some storming sets yesterday.
Yeah, we're
Mad Mix and Whom by Fire and Victorious and the Mutineers. Yeah, it was a great day.
nice. Whereabouts is it, Trevor?
It's in Dorset.
Dorset.
Yeah,
God's own
near
country.
Corfe-Mullen.
Very nice.
Yeah, and I was swimming in the sea this morning at one of my favourite spots called Windspit, which is a little place called Worth-Matravers on the Isle of Purbeck. So I just rushed down there and jumped in the sea
Nice.
quickly before we came back.
What about
Yeah.
the sharks?
Ah, well, managed to avoid them. I do get the shark fear, actually. If I go out too far and it's dark down there.
We were,
But I didn't see any.
before we had the kids, we went on holiday to one of the Canary Islands. I don't know if it was Tenerife or Gran Canaria, and it was one of them where you could pay 20 or 30 euros, whatever, and they take you on a little boat cruise, and you get like a ham sandwich halfway around and all that shit. And they stopped, they pulled up, they said like we do a little tour, and then we go to this bay, which is where we stop the boat, and then you can jump in and have a swim. And so they pulled up and they had a swim, and I don't know if I was going to the toilet, coming back from toilet, but I overheard the captain and talking to the crew, the guy running the trip, saying there's sharks around. And they said, right, off you go. Like that. And we still went in, but the thing is, the missus killed me because I didn't tell her till after.
Oh, right.
But we swam in shark-infested waters somewhat.
Nice.
Yeah, but they're only they're only little sharks, aren't they? They're not going to be big sharks that can eat you, like a dogfish or a catfish or something. It would have been.
Yeah. Well, not in my head. In my head, there were tiger sharks and hammerheads and all sorts.
great whites.
Great whites. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the ones with laser beams on the head you want to look out for as well.
Yeah,
The
and
ones
the hammer ones.
The ones
Yeah.
Klaus Schwab has in his evil desert island.
Yeah.
Although he's been kicked out, Trev. Did you hear the news?
Yeah. No, well, what did he do? He was embezzling funds or something, wasn't he?
Doesn't sound like an evil genius,
No.
does it?
But I mean, isn't that their job anyway?
Yeah,
But
which makes you wonder why he got rumbled. Like there must be something else behind
he
it,
was
maybe.
embezzling the wrong sort of funds. That's it.
Ah.
He's crossed someone, hasn't he?
That's what I think. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
a coup.
Yeah, he's made a mistake. Horse's head and all that jazz. Sleeping with the fishes.
So he's off wearing that Star Trek robe in Klaus Schwabenland.
If he's getting rid of that, there's a buyer right here.
Yeah, I wonder if we could get 3.
Yeah.
That'd be ace, wouldn't it?
I'll be, yes.
I'll turn up to
And
Sheep Farm Live next week in my intergalactic Emperor uniform.
Schwab.
Oh yeah, they love that. Are you back on there?
Yeah, it's they've done next week. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the July. We're in July, aren't we? Next week.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
Mark Devlin, John Hamer.
Oh, brilliant.
Sheep Farm would be a great laugh. I went last year, and it was really good, really interesting. And I think they've just announced one in London as well. They're doing one with Devlin down in London.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to that. There's some rumor that I might be playing in the interval for that one.
Halftime show.
Yeah,
Exclusive.
But
Yeah, it's like
whether it actually happens, I don't know. But
Don't
we'll
have
see.
a wardrobe malfunction, Trevor.
I'm getting my ancestor worshipping robe ironed, especially.
Yes.
like the Super Bowl halftime show with Trevor.
Yeah,
Nip slip.
yeah.
Lovely.
It's good that you're here because you just released a new single as well, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah. My they're not doing a very good job of dimming the sun, are they? It was
them time.
absolutely scorchio here. I just had to jump in a cold bath and not really dry with a fan on me just to stay cooler. But I've just released a song called Painting the Sky, which is a melancholy tune. Just asking the question why.
Why they're painting the sky.
Yeah, why are they painting the sky?
It's very nice. Very some very intricate chord work in there. Some I don't know what
Is
whether
there
maybe
a diminished seventh?
I think there's some
Are you an
diminished sevenths,
aficionado?
I wouldn't say
Aficionado
that.
of diminished sevenths.
and some augmented boobs. I think.
Oh, there are. There's no boobs in it. There was a bit of a boob yesterday when I played it, but
Why? What happened yesterday?
I just screwed up the ending slightly, but no one noticed.
It's new, so no one will know.
It's fine. That's how it's
Yeah.
meant to be.
Yeah. There's a major 7 chord at the end of it, and I just I don't know where my brain went. You just have a brain fart every now and again.
It happens, doesn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, I was very happy to have Vicky Ball from Victorious playing trumpet on it. That's always a lovely experience. We had a quick rehearsal in the forest beforehand,
Nice.
and then jumped on stage.
Oh god.
So yeah, I even got an encore yesterday.
How
Very
long?
good.
How long of a set did you get?
I did about 45 minutes, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever need a bass player, Trevor, I like Forests. Trevor called you. Yeah, Trevor. Yeah. I keep
that's
looking at
my
your
name.
name and going, "Don't say John. Don't say John."
Oh well, you wouldn't be the first.
Mr. Trevor. John.
Yeah. So in fact, for the Hope Festival that's coming up in August, I'm putting together a little band. I've got to think of a name for them.
Nice.
Trevor John and the Cosmic Vandals or something. I'm not sure yet. But
let's involve the chat. Band names for Trevor's.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
So I've got a stand-up double bassist, a guy called Orlando who plays.
What jokes is he telling?
Pardon?
What jokes is he going to do?
What jokes?
This stand-up bassist.
Oh, stand-up. I see what you did there. Yeah, very good. So he's going to play double bass. I've got a ridiculously amazing fiddle player and Troy on the cajon.
Nice.
So you might have a bit of trumpet, and then everyone's going to jump on and do my Keir Starmer song because we did a full production of that back a while ago.
Oh, the BBC won't let you play that.
No,
I don't know.
no.
They'll let pretty much anyone play if you've been watching Glastonbury this
I
weekend.
saw Bob fill in. That set. It was a good set. We saw them at Green Man Festival last year as well.
Right.
The year before.
I was saying just before we start recording, have a load of Glasto material for part 2, so we'll not jump the gun.
No, let's not.
So,
Fresh.
Yeah, I've never ever been to Glastonbury.
no.
The town is really nice. Never been to the
Oh
festival.
yeah, the
Yeah.
town. I mean the festival.
Yeah, never
The
been to-
town's built on all kind of ley lines, isn't it? It's got
Yeah, that's
yeah,
where the cool
it's-
shit is.
Well, you've got that. There's so much mythology surrounding Glastonbury with Joseph of Arimathea and the early Christianity, the King Arthur legends try and tie themselves to that. And it's I've never been either, but it seems to be one of these sort of magnets. It's like an esoteric magnet,
Yeah.
Glastonbury. It seems to attract a lot of interest for various weirdos like me, weirdo researchers.
I think it attracts a lot of trustafarians these days.
Trustafarian, what's that?
Yeah. Yeah, well, people who are sort of bohemian, but no, their dad's the CEO of a pharmaceutical company, and
Cosplay.
they have a trust fund.
Oh, Trustafarians,
Ah.
right? Yes.
It's, yeah,
There's a song in there, Trevor.
yeah. Good idea.
I'm interested in sort of how you got into this. Like, what did before you started playing and writing songs and doing this? What did your life look like before all this?
I've always played music, like from way back. But I'm also an illustrator, so I was drawing stuff for kids' books, and I drew the Dairyly cow at one time.
Oh, nice.
If you've ever eaten the Dairyly cheese?
I think I've seen I remember the Dairyly cow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Aardman animated it. You know, who did Wallace and Gromit?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Nick Park went to our high school.
Yep.
To your high school?
Yeah.
Did he?
You still
Oh, right.
you still see him occasionally around our area.
Yeah.
He sometimes comes to the school, doesn't he, to hand out awards.
Well, he was in the town centre not so long ago to unveil a statue or something
Yeah, what's he?
of the duck, the
No,
Feathers
the
McGraw.
the penguin.
Yeah, it's a duck to me.
Feathers McGraw, yeah, because they opened a cinema in the town centre. City centre.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And yeah, he was there for that. And there's a Wallace and Gromit, isn't there, outside the market?
There is.
Yeah. So we're tied to Nick, even though he lives in the States now. So you're right.
Yeah.
So we sidetracked there. Dairyly cow.
Yeah. They animated some of these sort of ninja cows doing all sorts of weird antics. But I had to go to Aardman to make sure they were doing it right, which was like sort of being invited into Willy Wonka's chocolate factory for me.
Definitely.
Yeah, it was amazing. I
Nice.
was a big fan of Nick Park stuff. I still am, actually.
Okay, we'll give him a call, see if we can get you two together again.
Yeah.
Next project.
Is he in your diary?
Sure,
is it in your
we've got
address
everyone in here.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Well, they did sort of, offer me to kind of maybe come up with some ideas, but I was doing other stuff at the time. But so I was illustrating children's books as well, and but I've always played music, but I never kind of was drawn to sort of getting involved with the music industry. I had a sort of little publishing deal at one point, but it just never felt right, and I never enjoyed the kind of the green rooms in the old sort of old school music side when you did gigs were always horrible. All the musicians were kind of really kind of backbitey with each other.
Famously full of pricks.
Say again?
Famously full of pricks, the music industry.
Full of pricks. That's a song.
So you never got as far as getting the Faustian bargain then?
No, not at all. But then I did actually write. I did an EP in about 2008, and there was a song about nothing making sense called Contradictions. There was a song about being lied to. There was a song about looking for meaning in life. I can't remember what the fourth one was now. Oh, Fish Out of Water, like feeling like you didn't belong anywhere. And so I must have kind of had some inkling of what was to come even then. But 2020 was a godsend to me. Like I loved 2020.
Yeah,
it was brilliant.
About it?
Well, I managed to alchemize my anger. Well, I'd been working with a band called Protective Fences, who were very awake. They were writing songs about false flags and Greta Thunberg and all sorts of things. And they were kind of bombarding me with stuff about Egypt, and so I was kind of aware of something was very amiss, and I was obviously aware of 9/11 and JFK and all that, but I never believed that they would do something as outlandish as what happened in 2020. So one of the two guys I was working with kind of said to me something was going down and then buggered off to the jungle. and to do slacklining and DJing somewhere in the middle of nowhere on a beach. And and he was right. Yeah. And they've been running ever since. They've been running this sort of platform called The Void. It's like an online database of everything that's gone on. Searchable database. It's probably the best one around, actually. It's so when 2020 happened, I went on all the marches, and I just took my megaphone, and I decided to go there and just kind of try and raise the vibe. So I was making up stupid shit to shout through the megaphone every day when we went up on the marches, and try and make people laugh.
You should have got into politics, Trevor.
Yeah. No.
No.
I'm not diplomatic enough.
Actually, yeah. That's a straight answer. So yeah, you'd be no good.
No. I'd be terrible. I kind of, I can't. I've got Tourette's. I can't really not speak my mind.
My brother had 2 rats when we were little.
Tourette's.
Yeah.
I was listening to Joe Rogan, which I don't usually do, but Bernie Sanders was on there. You know, the sort of left-wing firebrand
scraping the barrel these
politician.
days.
With the mittens guy.
Yeah, the mittens guy. He was on there for 2 hours and said nothing.
Nice.
He was an expert at talking and talking and talking without saying anything of any substance. I thought, yeah, you're made for politics.
And podcasting.
And podcast. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they've been such. I mean, I used to be. I thought I was left wing. I woke up like 1st of January 2020 thinking I was a left wing atheist, which is pretty hilarious because I'm not that now. But I mean, the whole of politics is ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, I don't. And I was actually one thing that kind of woke me up was I saw how the Guardian treated Jeremy Corbyn and was just lying through the teeth about him. But then I realized that, you know, Jeremy Corbyn was a waste of space as well. So
it's interesting you say that. It's like the old adage, I used to be cool, and then they changed what cool was. It's like, maybe you know.
Well, especially
you keep your values, don't you? And the
things with politics, it's called the Overton window. The Overton window shifts.
Yeah.
So what was once left wing moves to the centre, or what was right wing moves to the centre. And your views, although your views may be consistent, the way they're perceived by other people or reportaged in the media will change over time, just because of the way the society and the culture works or is manipulated, depending on how you view it.
Yeah, they keep shifting the magic carpet from under your feet.
Yeah, Edward Bernays, manufacturing consent, public opinion. It's all a game.
Yeah, and his nephew started Netflix, didn't he?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Total coincidence that though, Trev. Don't know what.
Yeah. Well, and he was Freud's nephew, wasn't he?
Yeah.
In fact, I think he was. It was him that kind of brought Freud to prominence. I think he brought him over to America and publicized his books.
Yeah,
so that book Propaganda he wrote is a corker.
Do you ever get into Jacques Ellul?
Who?
Jacques Ellul.
No.
He's a Canadian. Probably later than Bernays. I think he was maybe writing in the 50s or 60s, but he's got a good book on propaganda.
Yeah.
A very kind of similar to Bernays, but a different.
Is he an aficionado of propaganda?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like advertising guy.
He's more of pointing out I would say no. He's more sort of on our side, really. More sort of pointing it out and giving you tools to recognise it and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's good. Bernays certainly wasn't on our side.
Well, yeah, it's worth checking out.
But he's, I mean, it was brilliant. What some of the stuff he did, like the one about women smoking.
No, what's that one?
So he was charged with kind of selling more cigarettes. He was given the contract to try and sell more fags, and so he realized there was a massive untapped market in women. It was kind of taboo. Women didn't really smoke. And it was just at the time that the women's liberation and votes for women was coming up. So he kind of hijacked one of the demonstrations and got these Debs, sort of fashionable Debs, at some point in the demonstration to stop and ostentatiously light up cigarettes. And then in the next, and he had photographers there ready, and in the next morning's paper it said "Torches of Freedom."
Wow.
Yeah, that's class, isn't it?
He was my favorite masterstroke of his was renaming the Department of War the Department of Defense in the US.
Yeah.
And henceforth it shall ever be named. It's the same over here. We
Yeah,
need to
classic
upgrade
inversion.
Inversion, yeah. We need to up defense spending. Defense, not war. George.
Yeah.
George, yeah.
Yes. So we're just about to head into war, or what's going on? I don't really watch the news.
Good. That's a good position to say,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're just sort of winding us up, really.
Yeah. I mean, is anyone going to fight for Sakir?
I think we're too old, to be fair.
Thankfully.
Well, we are.
Yeah, thank God. Well, I've got 2 sons, so obviously I'm concerned over the next 10 years or so.
Yeah.
I won't want to see them dragged into anything.
No, absolutely not.
I'll just break the legs if it comes to it.
A classic hobbling.
Hold still, son. This won't hurt a bit. Run them over it, Van.
Oh my God.
So what do they think about it all?
Well, they're only young. They're only 13,
Oh, okay.
13 and nearly 10. So I try and keep them away from I don't let them watch news round.
Right.
That leaves Homer Zimba. He's a wrong'un.
But one of my favourite places to go is like the Hope Sussex lot. Have you heard of them? They're down in Battle. They have a homeschooling community, and they're like the beating heart of the freedom movement, really. And so, yeah, they have homeschooling. They put on a festival. They put on comedy nights, and there's a whole bunch of feral kids running around there. But I mean, they are amazing because they've not been brought up to be scared of adults. So they'll be on the door of the festival, for example, and they'll talk to you like an equal, and they're like 12, and say, no, you can't park there. And it's quite amazing how different those kids are compared to the ones in school who've just been kind of browbeaten into
I was going to say,
accepting authority.
They sound like they need a clip round the ear.
Yeah. Well, they probably get that. But they're all kind of really confident, and it's quite refreshing actually, the way they engage you.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. But they've been taught to be respectful. They're not disrespectful, but they're just like kids should be, really.
Yeah.
Forthright, would that be?
Yeah.
Adventurous.
Yeah, it's
interested in like little scientists.
Yeah.
It's a minefield bringing up kids in 2025.
Yeah.
I've told the story before, but I remember I caught my eldest. This would be about 2020, 2021, something like that. And I caught him watching YouTube, and there's this famous American YouTuber whose name I forget. And he does sort of science and technology videos, fun ones. And so there was one video he did, it's quite a famous one, where he built essentially like Ninja Warrior for squirrels.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like a squirrel assault course that he built. And it was like showcasing how intelligent the squirrels are, how athletic they are, and there's sort of facts and stuff built into the video. This is why the squirrel can land, fall out of a tree and not die, blah, blah, blah. And he was watching another of this guy's video, and he was talking about fake meat, like Beyond Burgers and stuff like that. And then the next thing, Bill Gates walks into frame from one side. And it's just, all right. So it's just pure propaganda then. We're just getting the kids early, telling them about how great these fake meat burgers are. And you can skip the bugs at least.
Did Bill do the assault course in the end?
I'd love to see that.
Is it still a thing, Beyond Meat?
It's kind of dying, isn't it?
That's right. It's like the excitement around like the vegan movement and what would it be called? That fake meat? What's the actual term for it?
Fake meat sounds good.
Fake meat.
Post meat.
Yeah, post meat. Seems that it's kind of died out. You don't hear about that anymore, do you?
Well, because I think most people, even normies, are wising up to the fact that when it comes to your food, less process is the best. The least process. You want it freshest, the less fucked with by anyone else. So Bill Gates comes along with the most processed food you can possibly think of, and people are like, well, that can't be good for me, can it?
Well, I mean, you grow an onion, don't you?
Yeah, so what's wrong with that?
Can you not just grow some meat in a lab? No.
You can.
Well, you grow it,
but you don't eat it.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah.
But it seems to have disappeared. Yeah, the whole fashion for that. It's not part. I don't see it part of with my limited intake of the news media. It doesn't seem to be part of it. AI is. That seems to be quite fashionable, doesn't it?
It's just fashion's the word. It's just
anonymous Indians.
Well, yeah, that story you said. But that seems to be quite fashionable at the moment. And war.
And Dubai chocolate.
And mini nuclear reactors.
Yes.
So those are my hot investment tips for you all.
That's good.
Moving away.
What's a mini nuclear reactor?
It's like a big nuclear reactor, but
it's small.
Have you seen
a matchbox?
Have you seen Iron Man?
Yeah.
It's like what he has in his chest.
They're like tabletop size, aren't they? These things.
Oh, I don't know. I thought they were like a couple of containers big.
So the idea is, isn't it? Again, I've read one Daily Mail article about it.
That's enough. Have an opinion.
So, yeah. So I think they're like small nuclear reactors that Rolls-Royce can build, apparently. And they power like a town or something like that, rather than lots of towns, and they don't cost as much to build.
So the idea is, instead of building massive power plants that are a single source of failure for your grid, and having 10 of them for 70 million people, that you'll have a few thousand of these
little ones,
modular. They call them modular nuclear reactors.
So multiple points of failure and meltdown.
Yes.
Nice.
I imagine so. But at least we'll be able to charge our cars.
I think the point is that they're figuring out that the renewables isn't going to cut it.
No.
And so they're slowly going back to nuclear. Fortunately, we're not in a position like Germany is, where they decommissioned all the nuclear plants and are now having to buy dirty coal.
Yeah.
Dirty coal.
Dirty
Well,
coal.
aren't China kind of building coal-fired power stations?
Still, yeah.
Well, you were saying the other week, Ben, they have tons of it, tons of coal.
Ass loads of coal in China, loads of it.
Japan did the same thing, didn't they? After Fukushima, they turned all theirs off, and they're slowly turning theirs back on again because they started burning coal. And they have to. I think Japan has to import coal as well, from memory. I don't think they have it.
Just going back to the AI, I believe, was it Microsoft that did a deal with one of the energy companies, didn't they, to install these modular nuclear reactors for their data centers?
Yeah, I heard about that.
If they have these massive data centers that have such they're so resource heavy when it comes to energy, they're having to build their own nuclear power plants to.
Well, that kind of makes sense to me. Let them
yeah.
Let them eat power plants.
Do we actually think that nuclear reactors are real?
Wow, I mean that's.
I've been
that's
to
a
one.
heavy question.
Did you go to a nuclear
I've just
reactor?
read Stephen Young's book. He was a theoretical physicist, PhD, and until he realized it was all bullshit, and then he's gone via music into alchemy, which makes a lot of sense to me. And he was talking about this guy. I can't remember what his name is now, but ran a lot of nuclear stuff in the States, and was taking his morning swim in the plutonium tank in the water, and they were all dealing perfectly happy with the nuclear stuff there, and then they were sort of then told they had to wear all these hazmat suits and only be in touch with it for a small amount of time a day. And he was going, "What? Why? We've all been perfectly happily dealing with it." And he started speaking out and was going on to live TV, kind of eating plutonium. and saying it's not dangerous.
Well, there's the radium girls in the 60s. Remember the radium?
Right.
They used to paint the radium
Yes.
on luminous watches and lick the lick their paintbrushes to wet them to paint the radium on. And there's some horrendous injuries, like loss of jaws and horrible stuff. Yeah.
Well,
so I
maybe
advise that.
It could have been a psyop. But there's I saw something on the BBC about this new breed of wolves around Chernobyl who can resist the radiation, because all these animals and people have moved into Chernobyl, and they've all moved back in. So it's like not really a bunch of animals that can resist it. It's just there's nothing there. I mean, they didn't. I mean, in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they just rebuilt them. No one stayed away, did they?
True. Yeah, whereas, it's often in the zeitgeist, you're told, well, it's 10,000 years. The land's dead for 10,000 years until it...
Yeah, well, they didn't do that at all. Everyone just moved back. I mean, they do have very, very big bombs, I'm sure, but whether they're actually busting an atom apart, I mean, the only nuclear thing that I really think they're busting apart is a family.
It's hard to disagree with that, really.
Yeah.
All the incentives seem to be the opposite way. For single parentage, and it's one of those. It's like, is it just things done in good intention, and then the outcomes often deliver the opposite result, or what? But it's not like, wasn't there such thing as like a married couple's allowance, or
still exists that
a marriage tax break or something?
Yeah,
I think some states in America have a tax break for married couples, don't they?
You can share your tax-free allowance across couples.
Yeah, I don't think you have to be married though. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. But
yeah. So the Stephen Young book, when he was talking about alchemy, it made a lot of sense to me, because if you think about the body in terms of atoms, that's quite abstract and you can't really imagine them swirling around. But if you think of the human body in terms of alchemy, so you've got air, fire, earth, and water. So air obviously is the inspiration, the kind of breathing in and out, and also spirit. Fire is your energy and your drive. Earth is your matter, so that's your bones and your tissues, and water is blood, sweat, and tears. So that makes kind of visceral, tangible sense to me, that kind of way of looking at things.
Yeah, it's kind of obscure how people often describe us as being more empty space than stuff.
Yeah.
And it is kind of hard to get your head around that, really, isn't it?
Yeah. It doesn't really resonate, does it?
No.
I saw some people eating, some massive people eating McDonald's in a calf sort of service station today, and they didn't look like there was any empty space.
So how did you get into the alchemy? So if you described like 2020 being like a big moment for you. So was it subsequent from that you started getting into more esoteric stuff?
So I started sort of yelling things through megaphones and making people laugh, and then I turned a lot of those into songs, and started doing gigs. And then there was the freedom festivals kind of appeared, and that was wonderful. I mean, the kind of rallies in London were just it was a great feeling, because everyone was feeling quite isolated in 2020. So to go and meet your tribe was a brilliant feeling. And there was a kind of honeymoon period, I think, for the freedom movement then, if there is such a thing. Everyone was kind of in love with each other. But but the divisions kind of kicked in some ways. And everyone's kind of drifted off when when we were actually really under pressure with lockdown and everything, and you could easily kind of assert your your kind of independence from that by not wearing a mask when you went into a shop. There was something to push back against, but now it's not so easy to kind of sort of express that, I find. But yeah, so I've just been kind of doing a lot of songs and making people laugh, and I was kind of alchemizing my anger into creativity. But then, you kind of look for solutions, don't you? You try and find ways what you can do. I mean, you can't go around all the time just complaining about what's happening. You need to actually move forward. So I got into nature. I started keeping bees. I've got like some beehives, and and there was a bunch of us. These two sisters had a 5-acre plot of land, so we put up some polytunnels and raised beds on there, and started growing lots of food.
Nice.
And that's been great. And then do you ever listen to Rise Above?
Yeah, we know him. We know.
Yeah, you know him, right? So I used to listen to Rise Above, and then Master Lee that was on there. I was always waiting for him to come on, because he'd talk about this intangible stuff in such, you barely grasp, but in such a kind of grounded way that I thought, oh God, I'd like some of that. So when he said he was doing sort of dojos about Gurdjieff, I thought, right, okay, yeah, I'll have some of that. So I've been studying Gurdjieff with him for about the last few years.
Wow, that's cool. Gurdjieff is a rabbit hole in its own. I got into Uspensky about 4 or 5 years ago,
right,
which led me to Gurdjieff.
Yeah.
What man are you then? Are you a man number 3 or a number 4? Where do you think you are on the?
I know I'm way down. I'm barely plankton level.
Do you find? Do you practice? Do you practice it though? Like the self-remembering thing he mentions, doesn't it? Where you have to try and unify your.
Well, it's basically you spend the first few years just sensing your feet.
Wow.
Just connecting to your feet, and it's the trying not to express negative emotion, or to resist the habit of immediately expressing negative emotion. I'll give you an example of that. So when we were, when we went into supermarkets not wearing a mask during the nonsense, you'd get these people running around trying to give you a mask.
Yeah.
And so it used to piss me off. And I'd go, look, stop, just leave me alone, and I'd be quite rude to them and aggressive. And then I realized that wasn't making me feel very good, and I was being triggered. So I sort of shifted that in a kind of Gurdjieffian way into behaving as if they were offering me their last piece of Toblerone. And I'd go, oh, thanks. But no, that's all right. No, keep it. So you might need, someone else might need it more than me. I don't need it.
Wow.
And then I came away from there feeling better. And that's kind of a Gurdjieffian way of dealing with things. So you just don't get triggered. But that's the model. But I don't always succeed.
No, it's a process. What they say.
Yeah.
It's a journey, not a destination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone gets there. It kind of when I was reading The Fourth Way, it kind of a lot of it reminded me of like mindfulness. Just being aware, just like being aware of your own consciousness and how you're reacting to things. And
it's totally that. And also, it doesn't matter if you don't succeed anyway, because the whole point is that we're kind of mechanical. We don't really have self-will. So if you can observe yourself failing in that way, then that's kind of, you're on a good path. Just noticing that you can't do it. Like we have this thing where you're supposed to sense your feet at 12 o'clock on a Monday, and it'll be 5 to 12, and you think, oh yeah, I've got to sense my feet, and then it's 12:30. I think, oh shit, what? Yeah, so it's really difficult to do something as basic as that.
What does, like, for someone who's sort of not into all this, when you say sensing your feet, what do you mean?
Well, you sit there and you just become aware of your feet. So the idea behind that is that we've got three centers. You've got an intellectual one, you've got an emotional one, and you've got a physical one, the moving center.
Yeah.
So what you're doing by taking your intellect and connecting to your physical center, that sort of brings in your emotional center as well, and you're unifying the three centers, and that's the ultimate goal of what we're supposed to be doing in this realm. And then you become the fourth man, or the fourth way, which is unified. Yeah, so
going back to the intellectual, the spiritual, and the physical, he uses the three ways being the way of the fakir, the way of the monk, and the way of the
yogi.
Yogi being intellectual. That's where the whole term comes from, isn't it? The fourth way. That these are the three ways that people have known about for thousands of years. People have studied it, whether you're a monk in a monastery or a yogi in India, whatever. And this is the next step for us, essentially trying to unify and take the best bits out of these three previous philosophies or ways of being and moving it forward.
Yeah, and I like it because it's like, I mean, I think the Bible is a really fascinating, interesting book, but it tells you about stuff, but it doesn't really give you a step-by-step guide of how to do anything. Whereas this gives you a kind of a practical how to do it.
So I'm just sensing my feet.
Yeah.
And so I think I've got the physical down, and my intellectuals are almost there. I mean, I know their feet and I know their kind of component parts, and I know how they operate. I seem to be able to work them all right. And then I'm starting to think, oh, that toe feels a bit weird. Shit, what if I've really damaged it? What if it's a horrendous disease? What if this is going to spread and kill me? Is that my emotional center going wild? How do I stop that?
Have you got some weird toe
right? Maybe, yeah. There's this right little toe feels a bit weird. I'll put it on camera in a minute. Hang on.
Please don't.
But if your emotional center starts running away with you, in a lot of cases, I think a lot of people will be thinking that way. I mean, that's obviously not what Georgie Jeff wanted to wanted us.
Well,
to
actually,
through, right?
but the emotional center is your emotional side is what happens is the quickest, isn't it? That's what gets attacked the quickest. That's why they always go for that.
Oh, so I'm under attack because I'm worried about my toe.
Yeah. That's why
these
they
two pricks. Why
we don't watch the news, because it's all playing on your emotions.
Toe disease related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
because you're saying that, the Googles and the phones, we're going to start getting news stories tomorrow about people's toes falling off.
I'll send them through.
They're always listening.
Yes. Yeah.
Perhaps I should have sent somewhere else.
So why Amish?
Fuck, it's like
381 episodes.
Yeah.
We don't have an answer for it.
Can we change it? No. Can we change it now?
I know it's great. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Amish anyway, because they're the only ones that didn't get vaccinated, aren't they? So, and they don't have any autism.
I mean, it predates vaccinations, the Amish Inquisition podcast.
Yeah, they're pretty right on. It looks almost idyllic to me, the way their lifestyle, although they don't have some of the modern conveniences that we have. A lot of those conveniences I wouldn't miss. I think life was better before smartphones.
Oh, 100%.
I don't watch TV anymore, really.
Yeah.
So, I don't really give a shit about all them. I've been quite happy churning butter, tending to the horses.
Raising a barn.
Yeah. Maybe have a cheeky beer every now and again.
Yeah. Some moonshine.
Kind of looks
But they're not averse to a Big Mac.
Are they not?
No. I was listening to what was it, Miri? She was talking. In fact, I was having a conversation with her about it. And she said that, she saw a bunch of Amish pigging out on some Big Macs, but they're it just goes to show that they're so really healthy, and so they can do that, and it doesn't really affect them.
They seem quite happy as well.
Yeah.
When if you go to like your nearest city centre and walk around and just observe people, a lot of people don't seem happy. I'll go, I could say that. A lot of people have, the modern world isn't a great place to be for a lot of people.
No.
And,
well, I think there's actually a ministry of stress in the government.
Yeah. Oh, wow, there's your band name right there, Trevor.
That's a great one.
That's good. Yeah, Trevor John and the Ministry of Stress. That's very good. I like it. But I mean, like my local village, for example, I'm down here. I've got a 92-year-old mum, so I look after her, and I had a massive fight with my brother-in-law's, not brother-in-law, my cousin is a brain surgeon and my sister's a senior lawyer. So, and they're just absolutely away with the fairies and the COVIDs. So, yeah, I'm down here trying to stop them kind of getting involved with the NHS and getting jabbed. And so the local village, you had to go 20 miles an hour anyway. And then they narrowed the road so that the cars going out of the village have to wait for the cars coming in the village. It used to be fine to go in both directions, but now they narrowed it so you can only go one way at once. And that was a classic Ministry of Stress move, I think.
Yeah. Well, I noticed it in 2020 because I worked for myself.
Yeah.
I was out, there was no furlough for me. So when I was going out, I noticed them dropping these big, massive, like wooden planters everywhere full of cement.
Yeah.
And shutting all the roads down. It's like, literally, I can see where I want to go. I want to go over there, but now I've got to drive an extra 5 minutes round a one-way system, essentially, just to get to where I want to go. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Think of your increased carbon footprint with that extra journey time.
It's mental. They make much worse pollution. But there you go. Right there is a classic Gurdjieffian situation where if you can not get triggered by that, you're doing really well.
I failed.
You can sort of turn that. So I used to go to this thing where like tons of really red-faced angry people were kind of having to wait for me to come out of the village, and then I'd really over the top thank them all.
Brilliant.
And it made me feel much better. And that was you have to fight the Ministry of Stress in all sorts of ways.
Yes.
What was the thing I was thinking about? It's like I wonder if that's it, the behavioural insights team.
Oh,
that was one sort of quango that got set up. Private concern, by the way. It was a it was sort of rolled in. So we exported it to like the US and other countries because it was such a success in Whitehall.
The nudge units.
Right? Yeah, they're colloquially known. Who's that woman who wrote that book? Oh,
yeah, we've mentioned that before.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
It wasn't Naomi Wolf, was it?
No, she was English.
Oh, okay.
It's gone now. But she wrote a great book at the time detailing how the nudge unit was stressing people out, essentially. And the messaging, that
was their job, wasn't it?
Yeah, look them in the eyes and all that horrible shit that they were putting all over the TV.
Oh, yeah. Horrible.
Proper creepy shit, like.
Yeah.
It's no wonder people flipped out and people, went mental. I kind of have sympathy for people who bought into everything and
100%.
all the messaging. And
I have a song about Chris Whitty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You can sing along to it. I got them all singing. You only have to know 3 words: Chris, Whitty, and shitty.
I was going to say what rhymes with Whitty.
Yeah. Who is that weirdo with unblinking eyes? That's shitty, Chris Whitty.
He's still around, right? Isn't he?
Is he still the head of the whatever he was?
Was he chief
health something?
God, it's like a bad dream trying to remember because Wow.
Van Tam went somewhere else, didn't
Jonathan Van Tam, didn't he get a job with Moderna?
Did he not get ill?
Oh, yeah.
I think Van Tam, got a job with Moderna consulting. Patrick Vallance got a job in government.
Right.
Yeah.
But Chris Whitty, I think, is still chief medical officer. I think.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I think he still does the job that he was doing during the time.
It was kind of fascinating.
He looks like a Sith, doesn't he?
He does, yeah, like the Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have him babysitting your kids.
What was it called? What did he change? Was
Sage.
I can't remember. Was it not something that changed its name to something on the lines of Department of Health Security?
NHS England, was it? No, that's been done away with. Yeah. Or did they just
health and security should never be in the same phrase, should it?
No, it was like something.
The UK Health and Security Agency.
It was that, wasn't it? But it used to be called something like I don't know, something less threatening, basically. But Department of Social Health or something like that.
Yeah.
It was like that, and then it changed.
It got Bernased.
It did, yeah. Make you safe, basically, by...
They sort of rebranded it with something to increase your anxiety.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It fit the narrative, didn't it, at the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, like see it, say it, sorted.
Yeah.
Do you get that on your trains?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
If you see something unusual, phone this number and we'll sort it. And then the NLP. The three. The three's everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah.
See it, say it, sorted.
What was the one on the podium that they had?
Duck and cover.
That's two. Should be duck, cover and scream or something.
Duck, cover and roll.
Duck,
hands, face, space.
Oh, that was the one. Yeah.
Stop, drop and roll.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, I always say, see it, say it, psyop.
It's basic marketing, isn't it? It's a marketing technique, that. Nothing more.
Well, it's a magic spell as well, because you're kind of putting people into anxiety.
Spectacles, testicles, wallet and watch.
Too many again, Benny. You went too short and then you went too long.
Oh,
that's a dance, isn't it?
It is now.
Yeah. It's like Goldilocks.
Disco dance.
It is. It's like the big fish, little fish cardboard box.
Yeah. Spectacles, testicles. What was the other one?
Wallet and watch. Wallet and watch.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
This podcast is descended into
madness.
Ascended.
You were talking about tadpoles last time I was listening.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Oh, the tadpoles. Yeah, they're frogs now.
Hey, I saw something on the internet, so it's true. Someone found like a 2-year-old tadpole that had like a genetic disorder and hadn't developed into a frog and was just like a big fat swimming
giant
blob
tadpole.
Of shit.
Jabba the tadpole.
Jabba the tadpole, yeah. Yeah, so it's probably AI.
We had fun finding some of the froglets actually the other day when I went to go and cut the grass at the bottom of the garden. Unfortunately, the groundsman hadn't gone round to it, so I had to do it myself. But yeah, we caught about 5. They're quite big now.
Nice.
Probably about 5 centimeters.
What did you sauteed them up?
Fry them up, yeah.
No, we stroked them.
Okay.
Well, my eldest son, is fascinated by them for some reason. I don't know why, and he likes to hold them and catch them and stuff.
I think kids are naturally drawn to things like that. Natural.
My youngest son isn't. He couldn't give a shit.
Oh, really? Maybe he's going to be an accountant.
Maybe.
Too busy slaying on Fortnite.
Well, no, I mean, it's Minecraft. He's too busy building his gassed house at the moment on Minecraft. But he did come out, and I think his brother did get him to touch the frog, and then I think he might have held one eventually.
Nice.
Baby steps.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, give me a pond, and I'm happy for hours.
Yeah.
I watched this damselfly, like a little mini dragonfly. This larvae crawl out up a stem, and then it came out of the larvae into a damselfly and flew off, and it left this skeleton of the larvae still attached to the grass.
Ew.
Yeah.
Did you burn it?
Fucked up.
Did I burn it?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I've told the I've got a little pond, and that's where the frogs get put in the tadpoles this year. But the scariest thing I've ever found in the pond was it turned out to be a dragonfly larvae.
Oh.
It was so creepy, this thing. It looked like, I don't know if you ever watched Stranger Things, like the thing from the other side in Stranger Things. It was very weird, whatever it was. It was kind of a cross between a spider and a human.
Like an eldritch
About a
nightmare.
centimetre, about a centimetre long. It was so weird.
Wow.
Then the pond's full of them as well.
It looked like a massive, terrifying monster, but a long way away.
Yes. Thankfully, yeah. It's like a xenomorph off Alien. Yeah, it was creepy. Yeah, really creepy it was. I didn't know what they were for ages.
You should be taking photos of stuff like that and posting
Yes,
it.
yeah.
Do you know what I was doing? I was enjoying the moment with my children instead.
Bloody amateur.
Look at this! Look at this! Yeah. Next time I clean the pond out, I'll try and find some then and show them, send some pictures. But they don't look as good because when you get them out of the water, they can't hold their weight, I guess, and they just go a bit flat.
Right.
When they're in the water, they're all creepier. Yeah, because they're buoyant and they can kind of walk around on their weird legs and their huge heads. Yeah.
They're probably saying the same about you.
Yes, I know. Definitely are.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Hey, we're rocking up to an hour already. Where has the time gone?
Who knows? Maybe it's a psyop.
Before we wrap this up, you should tell people what else you've got coming up for summer, Trev.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm quite busy. Like July, I'm doing a gig in Manchester. We're doing a gig on Friday the 25th.
That's near where what we are in.
Yeah.
Is it?
In the northwest.
Okay. Well,
I'm frigging holiday that week.
Friday the 25th and Saturday the 26th. So Friday I'm doing a gig, and then Saturday we're going to do a bit of outreach. Going to hit the streets, and then I'm heading up to Cumbria on the Sunday to go and play in this Manifest Festival, which is in Workington, and then I'm in Leicester at the beginning of August. And then Hope, Sussex, sort of later on in August. Yes, there's lots of stuff. And John Hamer, I organised a little sort of book tour for John Hamer last year. So we're going to do that again at the end of September, the week before the Sheep Farm Live.
Oh, cool.
So there'll be usually I was like his foreplay. So he was doing a talk about nuclear bombs or Jack the Ripper, and then I'd sort of warm up the audience for him. So that was really good fun.
Oh, nice one.
So we're going to be doing another one of those in September.
Is that because does he have a new book coming out then?
Well, he's got a new one out, hasn't he? He's got his one about Antarctica.
I have it. I haven't started it yet.
Yeah, Beyond the Ice Wall. Yes. Yeah, I've got a song in it.
Oh, right.
There's something going on beyond the ice wall, because he said to me he liked my stuff, so he said, I'd really like to have one of your songs in the book. And I said, oh right, well, I haven't really got one about Antarctica, but I could write one. And he said, okay, but you got about a week because it's going to publishing. So I said, all right. So yeah, you can find it if you go to his website, 60 Degrees South, Beyond the Ice Wall, there's a link to it. Something going on beyond the ice wall. It's a bit like an old Woody Guthrie song.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
And then after that, you've got the world tour with the Ministry of Stress kicking off.
No, we're getting them together for the Ministry of Stress will be together for Hope, Sussex, hopefully.
Excellent.
But no, I'm going to think about that. That's a good name.
Our commission rate's fairly reasonable.
Is it reasonable?
No, Trevor came up with it. I just spotted
he did, didn't he?
Yeah, spotted the opportunity.
Merely a facilitator.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Very good.
Well, I think we should wrap this up then, Trev. It's been great.
Yeah.
All right. No, I've really enjoyed it. I like your tangential nature.
Good.
Oh, nice. Could have put that on a
Yeah.
Thank God.
At least someone does.
Yeah.
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 It's like my natural state of being. You know, stay on one subject too long.
Oh, jeez. Boring.
Well,
Yeah.
It's been a joy, and I'm sure we'll meet up. I'm gutted because I'm on holiday. I think that date you mentioned in Manchester. Otherwise, I'd get down to that one. But I'm sure our paths will cross sometime in the future. And
I hope so.
yeah, it's great to meet you. And
Yeah, you too.
enjoy the
really
rest
good.
enjoy the rest of your summer as well.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you. And you.
Okay, right, folks. That's it for part one. TrevorJohnMusic.com.
Yeah.
Find all the information there. We're going to take a short recess,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're going to see what was happening in at Glastonbury.
Okay, I'm excited.
We'll
Hooray.
do some headlines first, and then we'll
Right.
get to Glastonbury.
Cool.
Very good.
Okay. Sayonara. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.